And here we come. Let's see if it's working. Yep. Let's see. I bet it is.
Here we come.
Yep, it is. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I'm John Miglosh for the Wisconsin DMA and the International Society for Strategic Marketing. Oh, I did the other one again. Okay, well, I left all my highlights at home. As you know, I highlight every day all the articles coming in, and all the highlights didn't get saved, and they're back at home. So we'll just talk our way through. But let's start out with something interesting. This is from a company called Commercetools, and we built our first distribution software package in 1978. My brother and I built a distribution package that allowed commissions to be split between 4 salespeople at the same time for the same order. And it also allowed unlimited description to be entered. As you're talking to a customer on the phone, you can describe what they're asking for in case it's not in stock. We made it so powerful that it took a completely nutty system and computerized it into a completely nutty system. But let's watch this, and you'll get an idea of how your distribution package is perceived in the company.
Who is this guy?
He's our commerce platform. This is pretty typical.
Okay, you know what this has been? Can I take a look? Let me see that. All right. In-flight commerce. That's stupid because everything in first class is free. Sell in the metaverse. Well, why don't we just sell into Neverland too while we're at it? Leave the web and go back to catalogs. Finally, a good idea. Yes, I agree with you.
That's clearly your idea.
You're talking to him?
I'm talking to you.
He was the one who inspired me. It's okay to have a muse, isn't it? Or is that now not allowed? Go ahead. Glasses?
Anthony.
You don't get to call in people.
Oh.
Well, I really think we need to start pushing our own thinking into
Q4, right? Is that where you're gonna... Q5? Can I hear a Q6? Listen, if we get to Q9 by the end of this thing, we're gonna be dancing, right?
Well, anyway, so, too often your e-commerce, or whatever commerce platform does call the shots. I think it's comical they pick on catalogs because catalogs were some of the first people to do e-commerce, right? And I got somebody from Twitch commenting, on how to buy followers. Oh, that's really appropriate. We're going to go right there shortly. But anyway, so I've played with a lot of e-commerce platforms, and as I said, catalogers were some of the first to embrace the internet, obviously. The first internet commerce actual demo I saw at the catalog conference was a catalog company. And it was about how catalogs could take orders on the internet. So going back to catalogs is really annoying to me. The thing I've seen most, though, in conversions is that the promises made by the new e-commerce platform pale in comparison to the things that they forgot to include that we took for granted. So oftentimes the big iron platform actually picks, packs, ships, manages inventory, and some of the other basic things, tracks orders, those things it does really well, often because it has a catalog foundation. And the new one will sell to the metaverse and will sell on in-flights, but it will mess up the regular orders that sustain our business. So I really hated that commercial, and I don't know anything about Commercetools, but one of the things I've learned in sales is try not to pick on your competition because, you're going to have to be compared with them. So anyway, let's get over to the real news. Here we go. And first of all, I wanted, and again, my little highlighters have been lost, but Elon tells Twitter, prove that bots aren't a big deal, or I sink this buyout. Now, what's so beautiful about this play is that Musk says, well, the deal was based on your testimony to the SEC, right here, being accurate. I assumed that when you testified and said that 95% of your daily active users are real unique humans, that's the deal. And if you can't prove that, then there's no deal. And of course, it sets up this interesting paradox or whatever, this interesting dilemma, because they did already testify that that 95% of their users are real. Now I have, I don't know, a dozen Twitter accounts maybe. I don't use most of them, so I'm probably not included in that. But the Commercetools article actually says we created our own Twitter account for the naysayer. That's the guy who anthropomorphized the Commercetool that everybody has to go through and everybody's shackled by. And so, even in the prior article, they admit that they just created another Twitter account. Okay, so then Musk asked, "Is that anybody's experience? That all these people are real?" And I saw a tweet yesterday by a very, very prominent blue check guy who said the reactions to my tweets are so immediate, so vitriolic. There's a word, bad, anti, and so consistent. Like they use the same words all the time, that I know that they're not real people. Okay, so I found this company or this article online when I was searching about Twitter analysis, and a company called SparkToro, which has like 3 people as far as I can tell, and FollowerWonk, which has a large database of Twitter data that they get from the public Twitter API. They selected 44,000 public Twitter accounts active in the last 90 days from 130 million public active profiles. And they analyzed the likelihood, and this is a huge article. This is like 13 pages, of how they analyzed the likelihood of a bot to be fake. They said that Elon Musk's bots are about 70% likely fake. Now they said what they can't see is when people come on Twitter, like my wife mostly comes on and looks at accounts, searches with her account. She follows a bunch of people. I have quite a few tweets. I have quite a few followers. At least to me, it seems like 3,000 some, 3,500. All the internet is bots, right? From the style consultant. Yeah. Well, anyway, so Elon Musk, according to them, is about 70% bots of his 90 million or something, 100, what is it? 92 million followers, 70% are bots. So he still has 25 million or something real people. They said that their estimate is that 19% are bots, not the 5% that Twitter testified to in front of the SEC or based the deal on. And so Musk is in a really good spot. Now, the CEO of Twitter yesterday tweeted that he can't prove that less than 5% are bots, which of course makes the Twitter testimony seem a little weird. Now, the fun part about this SparkToro is you can go on SparkToro. It's a little hard to read. Why designers put light blue on white, I have no idea, but there's actually writing in here that I can't read, and light gray on white. They should test it in the mail. But my Twitter bots, according to this, are 7.8%, which puts me in a very, very low category. Ironically, that's still higher than the testimony of Twitter for the SEC. And that puts me about in the middle of average quality of bots. So I'm in here. I hit that thing about here. And so I'm like there. It's about the middle. Okay. And so, I'm leaning toward Dr. Augustine Yu saying that you're paying for a lot of bots when you and the bots are clicking your ads. Oh, which reminded me I wanted to bring up, and I don't know how this will come up, but I had this cartoon, and maybe I can get over to it, and maybe I can't. Okay, and there it is. This was an article that Dr. Augustine printed or posted the other day. Let's see if I can get to it and show it to you. It's very difficult to show things. Let's do a Windows capture. Who knows where this will go? And basically it shows properties. There we go. Yeah, that worked pretty well. Okay, so we'll go over there, and now we have to adjust it. This OBS is a real kettle of fish. Okay, but that gets it. So the marketers are saying we don't hear any fraud. The ad tech people trying to catch the fraud said, not on our exchange, trust us, we're certified. And the verification text people are not looking at the money stream, but the bots that check for fraud aren't seeing any. And he says it's as valid today as it was in 2018 when the cartoon was posted. Maybe I'll put that in the show notes, or at least in the podcast notes. So what are we to say about all this? Where is it going to go with Twitter? Well, Twitter has a puzzle, right? If they refuse to prove that they really do have 95% real users, then their testimony is suspect, which then makes them susceptible to investor and advertiser lawsuits, right? So, and it also means to me that one of the things, principles in law is that fraud eviscerates a contract, which means that if you told lies and then put them in the contract, then and it's caught, then the contract can't be valid. Nothing else in the contract can be valid once you have been shown to be deliberately misleading in your statements about what you're selling. So it's a good puzzle. Twitter is in a funny position. Not only that, but it seems that Elon Musk is watching the undercover journalism of Project Veritas, where they're talking about how they aren't for free speech, that they're totally against any voice but theirs, and so it's going to be interesting to see how it unplays. But what we need to remember is that mail, you can pick the list, right? Unlike Twitter, where they'll tell you where they put the ad, or Facebook, or Google. Oh yeah, we put lots of those out. Direct mail, you pick your list. Second, it gets delivered. Third, that it gets to a decision maker in the household, right? Because not everybody can just throw mail away. The kids, we didn't even let go get the mail, much less decide which was valid and which wasn't, right? If your kid starts going to the mailbox, that they're expecting a letter from their teacher or something else to come home, or a speeding ticket or something. Okay, we know that there's engagement, not only with the people who buy, but with the people who don't buy, and that piece is the missing piece that allows us to do machine learning, right? So all of these factors suggest that you should be looking into mail, and potentially reevaluating your digital. I'm John Miglosh, WDMA, fighting for mail every day. Like and subscribe, support this effort.